Hi and welcome to the fourth video in this Learn CAD series. This video is going to be the final video that we do in 2D CAD. Basically, once you can draw whatever we're going to draw today, you don't need to mess with 2D CAD anymore. You can move on to 3D CAD and sketch environments and all of that stuff, which we're going to cover in the next video. But like I said at the very beginning, where is it? Oh, it's here. What we're going to draw is this. It's a USB card adapter thing. And we're going to draw one of the sides of it. We're going to draw the front. Now, I've previously measured it, and I'll put the picture up here. Yep, that's the picture. I know, it's black, and the dimensions are green, and the lines are all white, and there's view A and things. Don't worry about it, I'll explain all of that to you as we go. The dimensions are purely for our benefit to know how to measure it, to know what the sizes are. We're not going to draw the dimensions, we're just going to draw everything that's in white lines. So what we'll do, we'll jump to the draft site window and we'll get started. Okay, so here we are in draft site. We've started a new drawing. This is just literally booted up. It's the drawing is called No Name. We've got no history. So what I'm going to do is every time I look at the drawing, which I've got on the other screen, I'm going to flash it up on the screen for about 5 or 6 seconds, and so we can get a good idea of what I'm trying to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the main view, which is literally that view of the adapter, which is basically on the bottom row of the drawing. It's in the middle, and the way I start with this is obviously, as we've learned, it's lines or circles. We need one or the other, so we're going to do line. I'm going to make sure ortho is turned on, and I'm going to make sure E-snap is turned on and is set to endpoint, midpoint, center quadrant. Tangent, and I'm going to turn intersection on just because that's the way I'll roll. Right, now it doesn't matter where we draw on the screen, we just need to draw. So let's draw some lines. And as you know, I usually start off by drawing that. If you remember, hold down the middle mouse button, the wheel to pan, and roll the wheel to zoom. Right, so this is going to be the left hand side of our drawing, of our view, and this is going to be the very top of the USB thing. So what we've got is we've got 24 wide. So what we need to do, as we know, is offset a distance of 24. Right, I'll try that again. Offset a distance of 24. There we go. Specify source, specify side. Right, and now we've just realized that everything is really super huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this from here, and I'm going to move it right down to about there, and then I'm going to trim to these, and then I'm going to trim to this line. Right, now that's going to get us somewhere roughly within our shape. Right, so we can see that from the top of the USB to the very bottom is 63. So let's offset 63. And let's see how, right, we need to do an extend. And I'm going to do an extend to this edge. And we're going to do this. Right, now what I would do is I would get the bulk of the lines on first before we start messing with fillets and curves and things. So what we're going to do is if we look at the top view, we can see the USB bit is 12. And because we've got midpoint on, we can draw a line from the midpoint of there. Let's just draw it straight down. And then let's offset. Now half of 12 is 6, and we'll go that side and that side. And if we look again, we can see the top of the USB starts 50 from the bottom. So let's offset 50 from the bottom up. Right, and now we can start to do some trims. So if we trim, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group select everything as the cutting edge, and then I'm just going to start removing lines. Oh, missed a couple. Yeah. 10 points to Gryffindor for the guy in the comments who said you missed a couple and you trimmed out a line that needs to remain. Right, let's extend this line. Put that back in. Let's get rid of that center line for now. Right, so hopefully you can see this is kind of coming on already. Right, so now the next bit is 48.5 up. So we'll go 48.5 up. Right, and I'm going to zoom in on that bit. And that bit is pretty small. That's 20. So let's draw another line. No, not a polyline, just a line from the midpoint again. Half of 20 is 10. So let's offset 10 that way and that way. And yeah, you guessed it, we're going to trim again. I'm just going to select everything as the cutting edge. And then I'm going to start taking off some of these other lines that we've created. Yeah, let's get rid of that as well. Right, so now we've got the 50 in, we've got the 48.5 in, we've got the 24 wide, we've got the 63 high, and right. So if we now look at view A in the circle, that's just kind of like a representation that draftsmen do when they want to show like a really small detail, really big. They'll do a view A and they'll put a circle on it, and it'll put A next to it, and then they'll do a massive view with view A written on it. So we can do 2, we can do 7 and a, right, we'll put that little slot of 5 in. So let's draw another line from the middle down, and let's do some offsets. I'll not use the keyboard shortcuts because you can't see what I'm doing. So let's offset 1 and then offset 1 again, and that slot is 5 wide, so we'll offset 2.5 each side. I mean, I could have just drawn half of this and then mirrored the thing. Right, it's getting a little bit more complicated now, so let's trim to the lines that we've just created here. Right, and let's take all of this off. Right, it looks a bit weird because we've got a line cutting through it, but not to worry. Right, that's 2.5 in to that curve, so we'll offset 2.5 in. And that curved section is 2 down from this line, so let's offset 2 down from there. Oh, whoops. Right, let's try that again. Offset 2 from there down. Is that right? Yep. And then we'll do one of our 3-point arcs from the end point to the midpoint to the end point. Right. And then we're going to trim again. Because trim to there, to there. That line. Right, now let's get rid of all of this, and right, we've got that pretty much looking quite nice. Right, there's a circle there. It's 5.5 down from that shoulder and 2.5 in, so let's do some offsets. 5.5 down from that shoulder, and then offset 2.5. No, offset 2.5 in from the side. Right, okay, and then let's draw. I'm going to just stretch that line a little bit with the control point, and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, because I turned on intersection in eSnap, you get this new X, and that's the intersection. Okay, I missed it. Right, let's try it again. There we go. And the diameter of this hole is 2.5, so we have to press D for diameter, 2.5, and we're there. We can get rid of those lines. And that's looking pretty nice. Alright, there's a couple of fillets at the bottom, so we'll do fillet. We'll do radius, because we've got to do radius first. And we'll do 3, and then we'll do that line. I'm looking over the top of the mic. And then we'll do fillet again, and it'll remember 3, and we'll do that to there. Right. And I think, apart from the 2 little squares, which have no dimensions on because USB, I think that's it done. But if you wanted to put those little squares in, what we can do is we can draw a rectangle, if I can remember where a rectangle is, or we can just eyeball it and we can just say, yeah, fair enough, we're going to put one about there, and then we can do mirror. If I remember where mirror is, there it is, and we can mirror that. Where do you want the mirror line to be? From the midpoint there straight down to the midpoint there. Do you want to delete the source? No. And there you go. And that's it. That's pretty much that. What I'll do is, if I move that to there, I'll try and superimpose the original drawing next to it, so you can see what we've created using lines and circles, and in this case 3-point arcs. We've also used offset. We've used stretch by using the control points. We've used trim a lot. Trim and offset you use a lot. And we've used fillet. So Once you can create that, that's it. Your 2D CAD skills are done for what we need to do here. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want to become a draftsman, there are a whole ton of stuff that you have to learn. But if you just want to do 2D CAD because you want to do 3D CAD, this is it. This is all you need to learn. I mean, that's pretty much the basics. You can put lines and circles down. You understand how dimensions and offset work. That's absolutely fine. That's pretty much it for the 2D part of this series. So next time, what we're going to do is we're going to jump onto a 3D platform and we're going to show how you put your 2D CAD skills into 3D, and you'll understand straight away why you need 2D skills before you can move towards 3D. Now, what I need is some comments in the comments to suggest what 3D platform we use, because at the minute I'm using Onshape quite heavily, and I'm also using Fusion 360 quite heavily because it has a CNC add-on which is also free. If you want to see either of those, I will cover them both. But which one do you want to see first? Let us know in the comments. I'll probably let this run for about 5-10 days maybe, and then we'll see how many people want Onshape or how many people want Fusion 360, and we'll do that one first. So that's pretty much it for now. I've been Steve. Thanks for listening.